In the special prosecutor's search for answers, he may be interested in a question the president asked the acting FBI director. Here's CBS News Justice reporter Paula Reid.
In the days after he fired FBI Director James Comey last May, sources tell CBS News that President Trump asked the acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe which candidate he voted for in the 2016 presidential election. McCabe told the president he didn't vote, which a check of Virginia records confirmed today. Late this afternoon, President Trump told reporters he doesn't remember asking McCabe about his vote.
I don't remember that. I saw that this morning. I don't remember asking him that question.
Is it possible you
The president has also criticized McCabe's wife, Jill, for accepting almost $700,000 from Democratic Party-affiliated institutions in an unsuccessful run for the Virginia Senate.
I think it's extraordinary.
Ron Hosko, a former FBI assistant director, says he never had to deal with a situation like that.
Never in my 30 years in the FBI was I asked by a superior who I voted for or my political party affiliation.
The conversation is significant because special counsel Robert Mueller is investigating possible obstruction of justice in the firing of James Comey. The ousted FBI director says the president told him in an Oval Office meeting, "I need loyalty, I expect loyalty." Asking McCabe about his vote could suggest the president was also seeking his loyalty. Kim Whaley, a former federal prosecutor, was part of the Whitewater investigation of President Bill Clinton.
When we start politicizing our branch of government that deals with prosecuting and investigating crimes, then our democracy starts to crumble.
And Paula Reid joins us now from Washington. So, Paula, on Tuesday, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said the president felt the FBI had been politicized with former Director Comey at the helm. But by asking McCabe whom he voted for, what does it say about the president's view of the Justice Department?
Clearly, the president had some concerns about whether or not this new acting FBI chief would be loyal to him. As I noted there in the package, his wife had run on a Democratic ticket for a seat in Virginia. So he might have been concerned that he was, in fact, he was also a Democrat. But we checked some Virginia voting records today, and he's actually registered as a Republican, and we also confirmed the fact that he did not vote in that election. As for the FBI and the Justice Department being politicized, this has been a common talking point for Republicans, both trying to undermine the outcome of the investigation into Secretary Clinton's use of a private server and now trying to undermine the Mueller investigation. There are also some events that have raised legitimate questions about whether or not all of these FBI investigations are completely unbiased. For example, text messages exchanged between two Mueller investigators who were very disparaging of then-candidate Trump and his supporters. That has raised a lot of questions for people about whether there is political bias within the FBI.
Meanwhile, President Trump says that he expects to be interviewed by the special counsel in the coming weeks. Does that indicate we are near the end of the investigation as the White House is set?
Well, the White House would like us to believe that once the president is interviewed, this will all be wrapped up. That's probably not realistic. Every witness they talk to, every piece of evidence they gather opens new questions, new lines of inquiry. So it's unlikely that this is going to be neatly wrapped up with a bow in a few months. And Elaine, we also know that the two people being charged through a trial in this case, Paul Manafort and his associate Richard Gates, they're not going to go to trial until the fall. So the Russia investigation will continue to hang over the White House throughout this year.
You mentioned the text messages a moment ago. We've learned that thousands of FBI-issued Samsung phones were impacted by technical issues that resulted in text messages not being stored for a year. Can these text messages be recovered, and why did it take the Bureau so long to notice?
We don't have answers to either one of those questions, but Elaine, this is remarkable. This lapse was discovered while they were investigating these two FBI agents who worked on the Mueller probe, who were exchanging these text messages that appeared to have some political bias. They noticed there was a 5-month gap for one of their phones not storing text messages, not storing the data as these FBI phones should be. Now we have learned that not only were these two agents' phones impacted, but thousands of agents who were using the Samsung 5 phone, their phones were not storing text message data to the archival system for a period of possibly over a year, but at least a year. And Elaine, this is a time that not only spans these controversial investigations into Clinton and then Russia, but also think about all the work the FBI does every single day. Without these records, it's very difficult to root out corruption, sexual harassment, or even who could be unintentionally or intentionally sharing sensitive information about investigations. It's an incredible lapse, and a lot of questions continue for the FBI. We've been asking, but so far, they don't have a lot of answers about how this happened for so long.
All right, Paula Reid in Washington for us. Paula, thank you.